G'day guys, welcome back. You're way up high today to get all this in. I had to climb down my ladder, run around the table and say hi. Right, look at this. This is a huge project, and huge as in big. I am going to attempt a resin vase, big bowl, sculpture, whatever you want to call it. So you know how when I've done them previously I have just used like a plastic bag, but this time I went down to my local hardware store Bunnings and I got this thicker plastic. It comes on well, they've got it on like big rolls. It's like for tablecloths, and you just tell them how much you want. So I just bought a meter that way. It was like, I don't know, 2.5 meters long anyway. So I've got this left over, but that's it. See, it's quite thick because I thought it would drape nicely. When I've used the thinner plastic bags, they don't really drape very well, and you get all these crinkles and things in. So I'm going to try with this nice thick plastic. It came, well, they had like 3 different thicknesses. There was a very thin one which I thought was quite crinkly, and the thickest one I thought it might not sort of mold very well. So I went with the middle one, just like Goldilocks. And just making sure that it's nice and level. I've got it on a board. I just bought a board from Bunnings as well, and I've put that on. I've cut this to the same size as my board, and I've just got some masking tape there just to hold it over. The edges here, you probably can't see them, but I haven't cut them off. They just stay there. Right, so that's that done. I've marked where I kind of want it to go, and I'm going to use some silicone. This is just, it says wet area, but the thing that's important here is it says 100% silicone. And I've got it in my little caulking gun. I've made quite a wide hole at the top because I want just one quite thick sort of edge. I'm only going to pour it, say, I don't know, 0.5 centimetre. Anyway, let's get going. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how I'm going to reach all this, but I'm going to just do on the inside of my line because I don't want the black obviously transferring in. So I'm going to see if I can just do this on the inside of the line. Now my little nozzle tip is just actually touching the plastic, just so that I can hopefully get a nice seal. And then as it runs out, I need to release the trigger and then squeeze again. This is just a caulking gun. Now what I will do in a minute after I've finished this, I'll show you how I'm going to smooth the edges. So I'm just releasing that, not that little gun handle, and going again. Now up here I think I'm going to have to change. I'm just squeezing this. I think I'm going to have to change and come this way, I think, because I'm right-handed. Let's see how that goes. I'm just getting a nice thick kind of worm of silicone. And stop, squeeze again, but see how it's kind of wobbly and sort of bumpy because, well, it's just human error, isn't it, not going particularly straight, and also every time I stop and then squeeze the trigger it's kind of going bumpy, but that's okay. I'll show you how to smooth that over in a minute once I'm done. It's a big project this, hey? It's exciting. Alright, we'll just join that up there. This bit here I feel is not quite as thick, kind of went a bit wobbly. Alright, now I'm going to have to go around here and join these two up. So the silicone should potentially stick to my plastic sheet, my plastic tablecloth. And when I'm done with it, again, potentially, I should be able to just peel the resin out, and then this will be like my mold, and I can use it again. So I didn't mind going out and, you know, spending money on buying the plastic sheeting and silicone. Well, I already had the caulking gun, but I didn't mind spending money on the other things because I figured I can use this again. Now you need to clean your end off, and you'll have to really put something in there. I'm not quite sure what people use, but they'll have to put something in there, otherwise it'll go all hard and you won't be able to get that out. So I'll deal with that later. It'll be fine for now. Right, oh my gosh, let me just make sure we're still taping. I'm going to climb up my ladder. Oh wow, that took me 6 minutes. Okay, now I've got in here, I've got a little bowl of just plain tap water, and I've put some dishwashing liquid in it. So all I'm going to do, and the dishwashing liquid makes it so that it won't stick. If you just, you know, touch silicone with a dry finger, it'll stick. So dip your finger in that. I'm just going to put it over to the side, and then all you do is just run your finger around the edge like that. And that'll give you a nice smooth edge there, okay? And then you can just clean your finger off if you've got some silicone on it. Dip again, and off you go. So I'm just resting my hand on the plastic, and then just slowly pulling my finger across and hopefully getting a nice, even, smooth line there. You don't have to do this. You may like the natural kind of bumpy look of the silicone. Now there's quite a big bump there, so I'm just taking that off there. And also where my join is, I'm just going to smooth that over. Now where did I get up to? Now because your finger is curved, obviously, my finger's not straight. You could use something else, but I just like to use my finger because I can feel what's going on. But you could use something else if you wanted to have it dead straight instead of a bit curved. Alright, now again I'm going to go this way. I don't think it'll matter too much about the edge being a bit curved. Just going to tidy this up a little bit here where I had a bigger blob on the sides. Just trying to make it all even basically, so that I've got as straight an edge as possible. Later on, where I've sort of touched the plastic, I'll come in with some alcohol on a baby wipe, and I'll just clean that off my plastic. Right, that side's done. Actually, this side's just a bit bulgy there. I think that's where I put that extra bit of silicone, wasn't it? Don't worry too much if your edges aren't, you know, like a total circle or anything, because we're going to be molding this anyway. So I'm going for like those sort of scallopy edges. All right, let's go again up here. So don't worry too much if you haven't got totally like round. This is kind of an oval, which is what I wanted. So I want the back, when I sculpt this, I want the back to be higher than the front. Just so that you can see the inside, and I'm going to tell you about that in a little while, why I want to do that. So while I'm doing this, I'll tell you about my resin I'm using today. Because it's a big project and I have to mix up quite a lot of resin, I'm going to choose a resin that sets up more slowly. So you know how I use the 360, the Platinum 360 Plus for a lot of things, but it sets up pretty quickly, and when I'm making up large amounts of resin like I will do for this, it's better off, I'm better off using a silicone that sets up more slowly. So I'm going to use the Ultra Clear. Now the other thing I'm going to do is, just to get a really good seal and make it look pretty, I'm going to go around the outside as well, just like this. I guess you don't have to, but just to give it a better seal on my plastic. All the way around. You get the general idea. So I went online to a resin calculator. I will have to check it again now that I've actually made my circle. And I just put in, I think I chose cylinder, and I put in the diameter, and then I put in the depth, and it told me how much to make up. So I actually did that the other day and I can't remember what it was, so I'm going to have to look it up again. Now me doing this is kind of pushing that line, that little sort of edge over again, which is fine, making it straight. Okay, alright, so that's about it done. So what I will do is I'll get baby wipe, I'll put some alcohol on it, just my 100% isopropyl, and we'll just run, squeak, 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 just run on the inside of that like that, and then change over to a new section. It's probably got a bit of silicone on it. Ah, don't you love that noise? I'm just cleaning up the edges. Oh my god, what a funny noise. Alright. Not doing it on this side. So I'm not sure like if I'm getting any silicone on the actual plastic. I mean, I'm trying not to, but I guess I may end up with a little bit there. Now I'm just going to clean up this top edge. I'm not sure if what I'm seeing is just wet from the detergent and water, or whether it's actually a bit of silicone on the plastic. Alright, I think that's done. So now I'm going to set up. Not sure how long it's going to take to set up, but I'll come and check it sort of regularly. I'll give it a couple of hours and I'll come back and check it, and then we'll go to the next stage. This is exciting. Okay, so you can see I have put paper all the way around this and just taped it down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up this board that it's on, and I'm going to take it outside, and I am going to spray paint the inside, and I'm going to try and get up the sides as well in here with my can of spray paint. I've got this one. I have to give it a good shake. It's by Design Master, and it's Brilliant Gold. So I don't think you can hear that, but it is so windy outside. Branches are blowing over and power lines are down, and anyway, I'll see what I can do. I'm really keen to get it done, so I'm just going to take it outside and put it on out on the front. But if it's too windy, I'll have to wait until tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pick up this whole thing, and because I didn't want it like getting over my plastic, so that's why I've just taped it. Alright, so hopefully that will work. I'm going to go and try and do that and I'll come back. Well, that was an experience out in the wind. But anyway, I gave it just 3 really light coats. Now, you can see here that there's a bit of a bend in my plastic. When I put it down yesterday, I tried heating it and, you know, trying to get the bump out, but I think it'll be all right because it's going to be on the inside, you know. You're not going to see, it's going to be all folded anyway, so I don't think you'll see that. But look, it's all dry. So let's get this tape off. I suppose I should have got it off earlier, hey, but you guys like to see me do things from go to woe. Just peel that back. There we go. Maybe I can keep this somewhere, I don't know where, but keep it somewhere, and then when I want to spray paint again, I can use it, but probably not. I probably won't. So there we go. Now, you know when you dust your silicone molds with mica powder or chameleon powder or anything like that, and then you pour your resin on and you peel it out and your mica powder comes out with it, doesn't it? So I'm hoping, cross fingers, that this will do the same. I can see my edge now. I didn't do a very good job on my edge, but I think I fiddled too much. I think you just, you know, wet, like put your silicone down, wet your finger and just do that, you know, so you get a nice smooth edge. I think I've kind of fiddled too much and it's a bit, yeah, it's not as smooth as I would like, but I may have to, once I've finished it and unmolded it, I may have to actually sand the top edge and then just paint it. So anyway, we'll deal with that later. So here we go, look at that. Beautiful gold shiny piece. So I'm going to mix up my resin now and I will come back to you. So I have mixed up 1.5 kilos of resin and I'm using the Platinum Ultra Clear. It's got 1 of those, 2 of those, and another one, 3. So I've got 3 of those. Now I probably won't be able to be in film for this whole thing, but we'll see how I go. So I want to have mainly black, black, red and gold is what I want. Get the top off. New jar. I'm just going to do this over here, over the bin. There we go. Of course, it's made a mess everywhere. So yeah, black, red and gold is what I am going for today. So I want to have probably 2 of these smaller cups of black. So I'm going to just divide that now. I don't know if that'll sit there. Actually, I'm just going to do it off screen. I'm going to do 2 cups of black. Just doing it over here. So this is a bit bendy here. I just don't know that it's going to work all that well. So basically, 1 of those big cups, I just divided it into 2, and that's going to be my black. I guess I could have just left it in there, couldn't I? Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Spilling. Oh, hang on. I knew this was too big a project. Just lost about a 1/4 of a cup of resin, that's all. It wasn't too bad. But I thought, well, I'm over there cleaning up, I'm just going to mix up my colours. So, I have a big cup of black. That is the Archery Creations Batman Black. So I've got that. And then I've got this red here. So this is a mica powder, this one. The black's a paste. This is Truly Red. I think that's one of Petra's colours. And then I've got another more of like a fire engine red. It's starting to warm up. I'm going to have to get a move on. Tried this one here because I thought that would be a nice red, but it's actually really quite transparent. It is black cherry, really transparent, so I had to add some red alcohol ink. So that's what I've got there in that one. And then my gold, the Archery Creations Rich Gold is quite yellow, and the Mayron is more of a coppery. So I've mixed the two together, sort of 50-50, and I've got this. So it kind of matches that really well. So let's get started. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing over here. I'm just going to do 1 cup at a time. If I have to mix up more resin, I will. That's okay. Because I've got a pretty good work time with this resin. So put some black in there. Oh, I'm nervous. And put some red in. Like I want most of it to be black, quite dark, but we'll see what it looks like after I've done my first cup. Bit of gold. And then the other red. Alrighty, there we go. So basically I'm just going to do dirty pours into each. Like I'll fill this one up again. Alright, here we go. So I want to kind of see what it looks like first. Oh, look at that. Look, we're getting cells and all kinds of things happening. Look at that. Right, let's do that again. Put some black in. I like the colour. I'm happy with that colour. And each cup might be a little bit different. And some red. And some gold. Oh my gosh, look at the gold. What's it doing? Oh, some gold. Oh, I think I filled up my cup too much. Some red. I think I put a bit too much black in this one. That's alright. Alright, here we go. Pour this one out. Ooh, look at that. Now the gold, these golds, they float. So I knew that. I'm happy with that. I wanted it to float, give a really cool effect. Now I haven't got much black left. I'll finish this off. I do have another half a cup of resin, just clear resin, that I thought I'd just keep aside for my other black. Now some red and some more gold and the other red. And we'll pour this out as well. Look at that. Wowzers, hey? How pretty is that? Now, I just need to mix up the rest. I need to make some more black. Where did I put my black? Here. Wow, look at it all. Really pretty effects, hey? And whoops, I just need to clean my stick. I'm making a huge mess here, you guys. I am. Pop that in there. Gonna have a big mess to clean up. Oh wow, look at it. It's so pretty. Wow. So I'll mix up the rest of this black, and then I've probably only got one more cup that I can mix up, and then I'll have to decide whether or not I need to make up some more resin. It was going to be somewhere between 1.5 kilos and 2 kilos of resin, and I thought, oh, I'll just go 1.5 because it's 3 of these big cups. But we'll see. I'll see how thick it is. If it's too thin, I'll just make up another cup real quick. Won't take long. Actually, you can see where that raised bit is, that bit of a bump. I'll have to cover that, so we will have to make enough resin to cover that. I think I'm going to need to make up some more. So here we go. The same cup again. Pour that in there. And the red, I'll finish this off. Actually, that's got some lumps in the bottom. I won't scrape that. Some gold. Won't put much gold in. I think it's got plenty of gold in it. Oh. And some of the other red. Yeah, it's got a lot of gold in it, which is fine because then, you know, it'll match the gold center. All right, let's pour this out, and I'm just going to go sort of through the top, like so, because we've got a little gap there that hasn't filled up just yet. All right, last of the black. You know, when you're scraping your cup, that's what I did. I must have had a good hold on it, and I was scraping it, and the cup just flung out of my hands. Gosh. All right. Oh, I've got no red left. All right, so that's it for my black. I will quickly go and mix up a little bit more resin. Let's give this a bit of a torch, pop some bubbles. I'll go and make up another 500 grams, another 2 cups. I've still got some gold left. I'm not going to make up any more gold. I think that's enough. I'll just make up some more black and some more red. Oh, it's looking so pretty. So pretty. I'll be right back. So I made up a little bit more black, or made up a bit more resin. Mixed up a bit of black, mixed up a bit of red. Both reds. Battery went flat. I've plugged it in. Hopefully it'll tape. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. I'll catch up with you when it's time to demold. Oh my gosh. It's always the way with these big pours. But anyway, I will try and get this done. So here's my red. That's all my black I've got left. So I've got half. I'm going to put half in there. Half in there. I should have made a bigger cup. Gosh. Oh, what am I going to do now? I'm not used to doing these big projects, you guys. I'm just not. Scary. Oh, still taping. All right. This is scary. All right, I'm going to put half in there. Now my colours are mixed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just have to get the resin out before it all starts going hard. Some red in there, some red in there, some red in there, some red in there. Now hopefully the resin will all kind of set at the same time. Oh, now I've got a little bit of gold left, so a little bit of gold in each. I've got plenty of gold in the whole piece there, so I don't need a lot of gold. I think the gold really ended up taking over. And I didn't want it to float, but I didn't want it to take over too much. All right, here we go. So I've got 4 cups left. Now I ended up taking the tape off the side here and pulling this straight. So I kind of got rid of that bump, which is good. Right, here we go. Let's pour the rest of this out, eh? That's that one. You see we've got some more red happening. it'll all blend and everything. So a bit down the side here. So I'm glad I've got a little bit more red in it, but we'll have to wait and see what it's going to do. And my last cup, here we go. Okay, wowzers, that was hard work, you guys. Just going to scrape my cup. Scrape all the cups. Get all that yummy colouring out. I'm going to just run my stick through, I think, just to give it like a bit of a blending, just up and down and up and down, just to kind of mix both those resins, because one's been sitting a bit longer now, hasn't it? So I hope it'll be all right. Like, I hope it's still going to cure okay. Like, yeah, that's it. I don't want to blend it too much. I'm going to keep those colours kind of separate. All right, let's give it a torch. I won't torch it too much because you know, I've got plastic underneath. The heat will bring up cells and lacing in the gold, which is really pretty. So I'll just, no, it's not going to work. Just want a little bit of lines on the edges, but it's probably all going to just move anyway and do its own thing. Isn't it? Looks like I've got a drip there now. Let's fix that. So this is the side that we're going to see. This is going to be the outside. Oh my gosh, I made a mess. Are we still taping? Oh, thank goodness for that. Alright, I'm going to bring you down. I'll have to be careful though because I've got the cord now. No. Knowing me, I'm not even going to attempt that. I've got the cord plugged in and it's going just over there. Nope. Look, there's the cord. Knowing me, I'll drop it in the resin, so. Yeah. This is the best I can do, kind of zoom you in a bit. Now, I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take. Oh, I'm exhausted. I'm going to come back, check it probably 3 hours and just see how it goes. And then I will show you what I'm going to drape it over. I'm not going to do it now. I'm not going to touch my phone in case I drop the cord in my resin. Alright, I'll see you in a few hours. Alright, now that I've got myself organised and cleaned up and got my phone down off the tripod and unplugged it, I can come in for a bit of a close-up. So, the camera just does not do this justice. It's a bit glary and it kind of looks orange instead of the deep red burgundy that it is. But there it is, that gold glistening on top, which is exactly what I wanted. Because then if I can drape it properly, I'm just trying to get away from that ring light, if I can drape it properly we'll be able to see the inside, so you'll have that beautiful shimmery gold inside, and hopefully it'll pick up on the gold on the outside as well. So yeah, it's just not picking it up really well. So actually, while I've got you here, I'll show you. I have to excuse my mess. I'm in the process of packing. This is what I'm going to use. Bring it over here. This is what I'm going to use. I was walking around Bunnings looking for some pipe actually, and then I'm thinking, well, how am I going to stop the pot from wobbling over. And I walked past the it was things for tables. This is actually a leg of a table, so I've got it upside down. That bit down the bottom there would attach to the bottom of the table, so it actually stands there quite nicely, and then this would be a bit on the floor. And I've just got this little bowl, and I put that over the top, and I think I'm going to drape that. It's either that one, or I've got one that's slightly bigger. So, and I think I'm just going to, I don't know whether I'll be able to put it up on the table or not, but that's what I'm going to use, because it's quite sturdy. So yeah, when the time comes to drape, that's what it's going to be sitting on. So I figured it'll come down maybe 30 centimeters on one side and maybe 40 centimeters on the other side. So yeah, that'll work well. Right, I'll see you when it's time to drape. Hey guys, I'm back. It's actually been 6 hours, and the resin is touch dry, but it's still quite soft, because I'm really in two minds about if I should do it or not, but I'm going to do it anyway. Right, so here we go. I'm leaving it in its silicone little edging, like I've left the silicone edging in. I'm just not sure how to do this without getting my arms in the way. I'm just going to let that fall for a minute. Oh gosh, and see how I can do that. Now I'm just going to go and put a few folds in, and I'm going to tape each one so that it stays in place. So I've popped it up on the table. I did try to mold it on the floor in front of the camera, but I was just like, all arms and legs and heads and everything were in the way, so I've popped it up here. Kept getting my arms in the way, so and I just had to concentrate on what I was doing. I don't know how well it's going to turn out, but that's it there. I've got tape and everywhere. I've tried not to put, well, I haven't put any tape on the actual resin itself. I didn't want to leave any marks, so I've taped the plastic, and I've popped little paper cups in some of the areas underneath just to keep them open. See if I can give it a bit of a turn for you. So I'm happy with the way it's turned out so far. I have to excuse my messy studio. I'm in the process of packing up, putting things in boxes. So I'm hoping that I've got some sort of higher side and then a lower side, but you can see how the gold's shining. And when I was trying to like see if the resin was ready, I was kind of like peeling it away. I hope it comes away tomorrow. Oh, I don't know. But I probably will have some sanding to do, I would think. So anyway, there it is. And I must go to bed. I don't know how people video these big things like this. But look, it's my first attempt. I'll stand back here so you can have a look. All right, so there you go. And it's after midnight. I need to go to bed. So I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll unmold it. Hey guys, I'm back. It's the next day. I'm super excited. I couldn't get back to sleep again after I got up at 11 o'clock. See if I can get this out for you so that you can still see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take that out. There we go. Oh my gosh, it's heavy. Ugh. Oh, will it stand up? It will, it will. Oh my gosh. Oh look, it's standing up on its own. Oh gosh. After I went to bed, I thought, oh, I should put something like heavy, like on the top to keep it level. But by the time I'd gone to bed, it was already quite hard to quite set. It took me about 45 minutes to mold it, and in that time it really set up. So yeah, I should have not gone to bed and just done it at the 5-hour mark instead of the 5-hour and 45-minute mark. Right, I'm going to pop you back up onto the table, and I'll see if I can get the plastic out, hey? Hopefully I can. All right, how's that? Can you all see? It's tricky doing these big things. Now, oh, there we go, that came out easily. I'm a bit concerned about how to get this plastic off now, because I've left the, you know, the silicone edging on there. So, what's the best way to do this? Because I need to get it, is it going to be, still moving a little bit. Look at that. That's okay, at least I can still sort of get my hands in there. Might drape it back over later on. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's just go around and get all the silicone off. Oh look, that's coming off okay. Got a bit of over, see these little bits? These are the gold paint that was sticking onto the silicone. So I think those I'm going to have to sand, but I'll have to wait till it's totally set before I can go sanding. Okay, it's still a little bit soft. I thought it was ready. I hope that shows well with the plastic, you know, not having it too thin. I just hope I haven't gone the opposite way and it's a bit too thick. I was concerned that maybe it was too thick and that's why it wasn't molding properly, but then it occurred to me that it's probably just because you know, it was kind of a little bit too set when I did it last night. Actually, it was early this morning, wasn't it? Just go around and loosen this all the way around. I'm hoping I can still use this plastic again to do another vase. Alright, now that's loose. How do I get it out? I'm just going to pull. If somebody wants to jump down and help me, that would be appreciated. Oh look, it's moving, you guys. It's coming. It's coming. I just have to do a little bit by little bit. Look at that. Oh. All right. Oh, it's out. It's out. Oh wow. Okay. I'm a bit too. I'm more interested in my plastic than I am in my vase. Hang on. Let me have a look at the plastic and then we'll look at the vase. Alright, so it's a little bit, it's a bit crinkled. I wonder if I can, I really wanted to use it again. I wonder if I can just heat it, if it'll come good. Or maybe soak it. I might soak it in a hot water bath and see, because it's kind of a little bit, anyway, I'll work on it, alright? If anyone's got any suggestions, I'll just put it over here out of the way. If anyone's got any suggestions, let me know. Alright, let's look at this gorgeous creature. Ta-da! Look at that! Look at that, you guys! Oh wow! I love it, I love it, I love it. Put it over here so you can see it a bit better. What do you think? Wow. Alright, so I've got some work to do with the edges here, which I told you about. I can just kind of peel those off. It's actually just, these bits here are actually just paint. That was up the side of the silicone, but I don't really like that, the way the edges have turned out. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Get that out. Look at that. I will, when it's set, I will sand all the edges. And then I'll paint them again, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with, I've already thought about what I'm going to do with the edges if I needed to repaint them, because you can't just, once you sand these they'll go all dull, so you have to then repaint them, otherwise they'll just be all, you know, dull, and of course you'll sand all the gold off. But I do have an idea, so bear with me. This is going to be a long video, isn't it? I'm going to have to wait another day for this to totally set up, and then I can sand it. But I'm just going around here with my nail, actually, just pulling off all that extra gold paint. what I'll do, I mean, the silicone caulking was okay, but it's not ideal because, you know, you've got all this weird edging and stuff. I think next time I will try something else. I've got bits in there, all my little bits. All right, I'm going to bring you down for a close-up so that you can have a look. It's really heavy. Now tell me, what do you think of the gold inside? Hey, how well did that work? Look in there. That is really, really pretty. I'm really happy with that, how that turned out. Definitely going to do this again because, you know, like I said, I'm not happy with these edges. Do you remember that silicone mold edging that I made? Those of you that follow me and have seen all my videos, you may remember that one. I think what I'll do is I'll try and do a big one of those. I'll join a couple of pieces because that gave me a really nice edge. And also I think what I'll need to do is probably, if I can, take the silicone out of the mold itself before I drape. But there you go. You can see the edges there. Hopefully you can see that. It's probably, the camera's probably not picking them up all that well, but hopefully you can see the red. And see how this side's a bit lower? So I wanted, ideally I would have liked it to be taller and thinner instead of so wide, but that was just the draping issues I had. But for a first attempt at something this big, I think I've done all right. It was hard work. So yeah, I'll sand it, I'll paint the edges. Well, I'll sand it and then I'll come back to you and I'll show you how I'm going to paint the edges so it matches the inside. But for now, I'm just going to leave it. I think I'll go and make myself a couple of silicone edges so that I'm ready to go again and work out how to get the ripples out of that plastic. So I'd like to use it again. Look at the shimmer on that gold. Isn't that just gorgeous? Oh, so happy with the way that's turned out. It's just so gorgeous. It's lovely. Who knew that you could transfer gold spray paint onto resin? Just a real shame that the top's let it down. So don't look at the top. Look at the inside and the outside and don't look at the top. All right. I'm going to leave it like this to set up for a bit. I think I'll drape it back over its little thingy just to, so it doesn't flop out. And I'll see you real soon when it's time to paint the edges. I'm just going to use my Dremel to do those. Right, see you soon. Okay, so I waited 24 hours until this was really rock hard because it was still kind of bending a little bit, and I left it upside down on its post, and then I went with my Dremel and I sanded the top edge. Now it's not totally smooth because I only had that little sanding ball thing, but I did my best. But yeah, for a first attempt I'm not too concerned about it. My next one I'll try and make it a little bit better. So for the edges, now I don't want to just paint, you know, with the Deco color pen. I do want the color to match, so I want to use this. So what I thought, instead of, I know you can spray it, but you'd have to tape and it's a huge mess. So, well, it's not a huge mess, but it's difficult to do. So I thought I'd try and spray some in here. Hopefully I can, and then dip that in there and paint the edges. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to go over here. Actually, I'm going to do it over the bin. Just bear with me. I'll see if I can spray some in there. Just a little bit. I don't want to put too much in case it dries really quickly, because this stuff does dry really quickly. So let's, oh look, it's doing it. So we're just going to do that real quick all over the top there. It sets up pretty quick, it dries pretty quick, this stuff. It only takes like 2 or 3 minutes. So you either need to work really, really quickly or just do a little bit at a time, spray a bit in there at a time. Otherwise you'll be wasting a lot of product if you spray too much in, because it'll just set up and then you'll lose it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to try. I don't know if I can. Actually, no, I was going to see if I could do the side edge, but I think I'll probably end up going over like that. Okay, we'll have to be really careful. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I might do it this way instead of doing it that way, because the brushes, or the side brushes, are going down the side there. I just do it this way. That way I don't risk painting the outside. Okay, so that's dry now. So I'm going to continue doing that. I probably need to do 2 coats because you can still see through it there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do 2 coats, and then I'm going to come back to you. All right. But it's looking good so far. Alrighty, finished. I found if I put too much on, it would kind of drip down the side, and I quickly have to just wipe it off. But if it stayed on, I could just wipe it off with some alcohol. Oh, there's a little bit there that I've missed. I can just sort of scrape it off with some alcohol on a baby wipe, and I found that worked really well. So yeah, there it is. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with it. There are a couple of things, you know, that I do want to change for next time. So I'm in the process of making myself another instant mold. And I'm going to take it out of the mold before I actually mold it, because the silicone is kind of, you know, left some little marks and things on it. But look, for a first attempt, it's really good. I love it. I love that gold middle. Look at that. Look at the inside. And this gold edging on the outside matches really well. You can't even see the proper shine on it. I'll put it in the light, and so that you can actually see the proper shimmer, because it's so, so beautiful. Alrighty, so I know it's a long video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've learned something. I sure have. Learned a few things from this, and I'll see you real soon for the next video. Alright? Okay, I'm going to go and set it up in the sun for you now so you can see it. Hopefully get the colours properly, because you can't really see them all that well here. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Love you all. Take care. Bye for now.